This is Rob Clay for TNI, and today we're taking a look at a toy line you probably had as a child, but had maybe forgotten about, like I had. These are Fisher-Price's Little People. The part that really surprised me, though, was seeing the Sesame Street sets. I had a fair number of the other sets, but never good old 123 Sesame Street itself. I won't lie, there's at least a 10-year period of my life where I would have loved to have Bert and Ernie's apartment as a toy. Actually, I take that back. There's probably only about a 10-year stretch of my life in my teenage years where I would have tried to convince myself that I was too cool to want to own Sesame Street real estate in miniature. And I would have been wrong. Besides Bert and Ernie, not pictured, the set came with Big Bird, Gordon, Susan, Mr. Hooper, and of course Cookie Monster. Also, Oscar the Grouch is adorable. The Sesame Street Clubhouse maybe doesn't push those nostalgia buttons for me as much, not being based on actual locations from the show. But it still looks neat, sporting some of the most wholesome, benignly descriptive graffiti I've ever seen. And man, it does a lot. There are so many different gimmicks for this set. And it originally came with more members of the cast, like Count and Grover. Happily, and I wish more toy lines did this now instead of relying on the exclusive figures to sell the box set, you could also buy the cast members separately if you just wanted a big old pile of Sesame Street characters to play with. Maybe I should check eBay. A lot of these sets, like the Little People Village, could be opened up to give different play experiences at different angles, not to mention easier access to the interior of the buildings. You know, like Castle Grayskull did, except 10 plus years earlier. The village sports a theater, a post office, a fire department with siren, an auto repair shop, a barber shop, and a police station. Also, you can make the two halves into a nice little main street with the use of the stoplight piece, which has changing lights. And I'll tell you from childhood experience, though, don't try and carry it one-handed without the stoplight piece on it, because that center hinge can get a little bit loose. Also, I'm sorry, but I've got to. Oh man, I remember that sound. Speaking of castles, the Little People royal family had it pretty good. They were attended by Robin Hood, or a reasonable facsimile, as well as a knight who was fully armed to go out and do battle with dragons. Or as fully armed as you can be without arms. At home, the royals enjoyed a stable, sumptuous private chambers, and a solid amount of royal furniture. And what self-respecting castle doesn't have a secret passage? Today, we looked at the quaint, and the friendly, and the medieval. Next time, we go modern. And big.